Good morning, guys. I was just getting a look at last year's woodpecker hole to see if our woodpeckers are there or the tree is singing, but the tree isn't singing and I haven't seen the woodpeckers, so I'm going to have a look at the other hole. Let's do the time. Here we go. It is 9:09 and it's Wednesday today, and yesterday Mustafa and I went to London to do our stock. And I must admit that I've had somewhat of an emotional week. Yes, it's been... I can hear these cries and I just keep wanting to look in to see if it's the woodpecker. Oh, there's another woodpecker hole, you see. Is it one? I don't know. And the woodpeckers I'm looking for have actually got like red on their lower abdomen. Yes, I don't know what they're called. As people, no labels and me, I don't really give a shit. Call you whatever you like. They're just spells. That's all. Spelling, spells, you know. Anyway, I was inspired by Kimmy Cho, who showed me pictures of her beautiful bluebirds. Well, she didn't just show me. She showed everybody. Bring that ball, honey, because she found it. Good girl. And it was so lovely to see. But anyway, thank you, Kimmy Cho. It inspired me to come out, because I wasn't really in the place for coming out today. No. I have been not thinking. I don't even know what you'd call it, really. Obviously a lot has happened in the past week. We have experienced the stupidity of what we're doing, you know, where people are just told to go home, basically. You're not welcome here anymore, and you either do it voluntarily or we make it difficult for you. And it made me think about uniforms and the uniforms that we all wear, because all of us do wear uniforms. As long as there's clothes, there's uniforms. I know most of us think, well, no, I don't, you know, but the truth is you actually do. And I was tired last night when I came home. I was tired yesterday when I came back from London, and I went on to, I just wanted to sit down. I've had this thing going on with my legs, which I'm not going to go into really, but anyway, I just wanted to lie down and put my feet above my head, you know, so that the blood could really kind of shift around my body. And two love doves. And I thought to myself, right, what can I do? Can I read? I was too tired to read. You know, when you're just too tired to read, you really just want to have someone tell you a story. So I thought, I'm going to put on the TV. I haven't watched it in a while. Oh my God, I was so horrified. I really, really was horrified. It's like every channel that I went on, we saw uniformed police officers. Well, I don't even know that we can call them that anymore. They're thugs, absolute thugs. And I would see the uniformed police officers, not just in this country, in London, but in countries all over the world, all over Turkey. There was something about Australia. There was something going down in America. Not anything big, but you know, and you just see these policemen, well, they don't, in my mind, they're not policemen. They're really not. I was married to a policeman for nearly 20 years. Hannah and Catherine, my two youngest children, their father is the policeman. You know, my grandfather was chief of police in Shanghai. My brother was a police officer. My cousin was a police officer. My uncle was a police officer. Do you understand? And it was different. It was different. I mean, I do admit that, you know, it was difficult with my partner Mark during the miners' strikes, because I'm obviously from, part of my background is mining. But still, in all the battles that the police had for Thatcher and the government, you know, there was this kind of je ne sais quoi between the factions. They played football and like rounders, which I suppose is a form of baseball. And you know, there were incidents of word throwing, like, you know, I'll take your wife out tonight because you ain't got any money to do it, have you? But I'm making overtime. And I know that it was wrong, and it caused huge problems actually between me and Mark. But still, he was like a policeman. We had a police house in a place called Solihull, which is in between Birmingham and Coventry. And we actually lived in a police house. Excuse me. And, you know, often people would just turn up at the door and say, oh, I found this dog, or I found this money, or my neighbours, they're fighting, I don't know what to do. And, you know, they would come in. Our home was like the police station, and we would invite them in, they'd have a cup of tea, and we'd find ways to resolve it. You know, Mark didn't walk around in frickin' body armour with, you know, tear gas and stun guns and water cannons. You have people coming up our bloody drive into the police station. He didn't say, Rose, set the water cannon on them. And even my own memories of policemen as growing up. Yes, they were the ultimate threat. Oh, you'll get the police onto you. But I mean, I got chased around the streets by police when I was in my little teenage gang. And, you know, if they caught you, they'd crack you one round the head. With a hand, not with a baton or knuckle dusters or fucking napalm. You know, you would get a smack round the head. It'd be a light tap really on the back of the head, and taken home to your mum and dad. And the embarrassment that caused alone meant no further punishment needed. But this is ridiculous. People are just voicing their opinions and their thoughts and things, and standing up to tyrants. And the police, who used to be, well, unless I was living totally in cloud cuckoo land, and I'm not saying I wasn't, because I've never felt like I've been really here. Do you understand what I mean? So yes, I could have been in cloud cuckoo land. But there was, I don't know. There was like, they were part of the family. Do you understand what I'm saying? They were part of the family. There was no need to worry. They weren't going to harm you. And last night what I saw was not police, and I think we should stop calling them the police, because they're not. They're a government army now. They're no longer police officers using their integrity and their relationship with the community to make sure that people in the community are looked after, are safe, can go about their business without interruption. Now they are the ones stopping us from going about our business. Now they are the ones putting us in an unsafe position and removing all of our security. And that to me is no longer a policeman. So I don't really want to call them police anymore. But I was absolutely appalled at what I saw. I didn't see police officers. I saw thugs in riot gear. And the things I saw, it doesn't surprise me that I've stopped watching television a few years ago, you know, because it's horrendous. And then in between all of this absolute horridness, we get these adverts, you know, tense, nervous headache. Well, actually, yes, after just watching that, I do. And then other ones about your insurance and don't leave your loved ones and in this uncertain world. I mean, God, it's almost like they're making up the news to buffer and confirm that you need the medication in the adverts. Do you understand what I mean? Honey! Good girlie. Hello, my darling. Hello, Gorge. And these are all uniforms, and we all wear uniforms too. And I am sure, you know, it's a bit like when you free your feet and you think to yourself, my God, I have worn the most ridiculous things on my feet for years and years. I've done untold damage to them, and my spine. Oh, that didn't kick very far. And, you know, I've paid a fortune for this. You know, to have these things that are causing calluses, corns, blisters, chafed ankles from shoes that you didn't break in. Break in. Oh, God. So when you actually remove the shoes and you go barefoot, there's this wonderful naturalness to it. I know there's people who watch my channel who've got foot fetishes, and I don't want to encourage or discourage that, because feet are actually very, very beautiful, very sensitive, one of the most sensitive parts of your body. And you know, I think it's wonderful that there are people around who are, you know, totally into feet. And I rather like feet myself. Oh, I've got something nasty on the bottom of that foot. I'll always remember one of the first things I noticed about Mustaf was his beautiful feet. So who knows, I might have a foot fetish. But I'm not going to do. Sorry for anyone who's asked me to do private videos with my feet. I don't. First thing is, I wouldn't have the first idea what to do. And secondly, no, I'm a great granny. That's the uniform I'm wearing. And no, anything like that is something very private between me and my partner. And feet do come into our relationship quite a lot. Anyway, once you've actually done this, you notice that you are watching feet all of the time. You're watching people with the most ridiculous things on their feet, and their posture is wrong. You know, one of the things that we have problem with in this country is actually back problems, spinal problems, and to do with, good morning, to do with how we actually, honey, Ebby, come on, how we actually carry ourselves. So I'm kind of thinking, wouldn't it be beautiful to get rid of all uniforms and just say, right, you know, let's just go naked the way we're intended to go. Let's just go naked. There's nowhere to hide then. There's no persona that can be put on. Excuse me. Because I don't know if you were the same, but when I was a little girl, dressing up was part and parcel of childhood. And I didn't have long hair as a little girl. No, I was into the home haircut by mum kind of place, where you would end up with one of those fringes that was just wonky, and your mum would try and level it off, and it would end up, you'd have a fringe like 1/4 of an inch long, which was still wonky. So I used to go and find things to wear, and tights had really just kind of come in then, you know, and I would put a pair of tights on my head, and I would tie ribbons onto each of the legs at the toe part, and that was my hair. And believe me, when I went out into the street, it was my hair. Now, if other people could see tights, well, so be it. But I didn't. I was sure they were looking at my long, you know, honey-coloured tresses, and were thinking, wow, look at her hair. Now, this is the thing, when we dress up and put on any kind of uniform, we actually get into role, and we start to believe the fantasy that is created in our mind. And they're just dressing up clothes. I don't know. It's been a very strange time, really, for me. A very strange time. Look at all the pollen falling off the tree. Can you see it? It's amazing. Yeah. A very strange time. And I look at everybody slightly differently now. I'm looking at the uniforms and seeing like children, you know, in a nursery school, where it's kind of, we're having dressing up day. What would you like to be today? And I don't know, guys. Let's get rid of the uniforms, and let's start calling people what they're really trying to be. I mean, these guys, they're not police officers anymore. No way, Jose. No way. These are thugs. Thugs. I saw people, you know, with sprays that they were putting right into people's eyes. You know, point blank freaking range, guys. Have they experienced that themselves? Well, maybe they need to. Do you know what I mean? Maybe they need to experience it. Not that I would wish to do that to anybody, but then we have the Milgram experiment, don't we? And that explains an awful lot. And of course, the powers that be understand that. As long as you have one person whose uniform says, I am above all of you, and I can tell all of you what to do, that one person can control billions, as long as we believe it. And the sad thing is that we do. We do. And they're just wearing a uniform. You know, do you think the Queen looks any different to you or I when she hasn't got on her Hardy Amis hand-created, no one else will ever be able to wear this outfit? Do you? No. Do you think when she's standing there with her diamonds and everything else that she's got, it doesn't make her any different? Imagine the diamonds, the bits of plastic. Imagine the ermine is a pair of tights. Imagine Hardy Amis is your bloody friend who has ambitions to be some kind of a costume designer. That is, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. And I don't know why I went on about that today. I think I was just really saddened by what I saw on the news on every single channel I turned to. The issue was the police, or so-called police, with their violence and aggression. And, you know, we just have to realise it's a children's playground. All of these people are being dragged into gangs. You come and be in my gang because you can get to wear the best uniforms hanging on the rack in the you know, the nursery toy cupboard. But the thing is, these things hurt. They're, you know, it's like when you used to play toys, games, I don't know. I used to play Cowboys and Indians when I was little, and my brothers always used to tie me up to a tree. I always had to be the one tied up to a tree, and sometimes they actually hurt me. You know, the things they were tying me with would be too much. I mean, once my brother put a snake belt. I don't know if you remember those. They were like elastic belts, and they had like two little snakes that would entwine to secure them, and they were normally in a striped colour like green and grey, or red and black. And yeah, tied me to a tree with that, and my hands were tied, and that was round my neck, and I thought I was dying. They just thought I was putting on a brilliant performance. Yeah. Anyway, and the other thing I want to mention is this. I haven't seen a single ladybird this year, and neither has anybody else that I've been asking. And I don't know if that's just something to do with here in the Midlands, in Warwickshire or whatever, but I'd be very interested to know from other people who live in England if they have seen any ladybirds, because this is so late for ladybirds. The greenfly are having a field day without them, and I don't know what's become of them. Right, well, I'm going to go. We didn't get to see the woodpecker, but if you do want to see beautiful birds, go on to Kimmy Cho's channel, KIMI space XO, and have a look at her beautiful bluebirds. And I didn't know there was a real bird called a bluebird, so that was magnificent. I thought it was just something out of a Disney film, and that they were fictitious little creatures that came to help Snow White with her dishes and cleaning up. Right, anyway, and think about your own role in your own uniform that you wear, because we all actually do wear one. Look at you. Look at that in the middle of all of that. Beautiful. Yeah, think about what uniform you wear and what you say by the clothes you wear, and how much better it would be if we were all just naked. We've got more to fear, seriously, the way things are, than we ever would if we were naked. And if I ever get to rule the world, that's what I'm going to decree. Yes, and we'll find ways around the cold or the wind, or, well, you know, it's like my feet. I walked in snow, and yes, sometimes my feet got cold, but you would go in when your feet got cold. Do you understand what I'm saying? You don't kind of sorry, I was trying to zoom in on a willy wagtail, but my usual perfection at doing these kind of things, it didn't work. Yeah, just think about what you do, what your uniform says, what you've taken out of the nursery play cupboard to put on to wear, and how well you do your role when you're wearing it. Okay, so we'll say goodbye to Georgina and that we love her, and goodbye to the beautiful tree museum, and it's so from Abby and Honey really, and my feet. It's goodbye. Keep looking up. You might see an angel flying on a stick, because that's something else I always used to think I could be. So I would get a stick and I would run round with the stick in the air, and I would be the angel on the end, even though there was nothing on the end. I could see it vividly. And remember to enjoy life, live it. It's exactly why you're here. And Honey is going to bury her ball. Dum dum bum bum. And I love you all. So, and if you have any beautiful birds, please do take videos of them, even if they're only for a minute or so, because I would absolutely love to see them. Right, bye everyone. Love you. Woohoo! The trees say, we love you too. Yay! Bye.